Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Today we will see how one of the most stunning and desired actresses in the world, she had a life of many loves, fame, with a surprising end to her life that was unknown to many people. Her real name was Margarita Carmen Cancino. She was born on October 17, 1918 in Brooklyn, New York. Her father was Spanish and her mother was American. At the age of 13, she began her career as a dancer and followed the same path as her parents, Eduardo Cancino Reina and Volga Margaret Hayworth, also dancers. She used the name Rita Cancino at the beginning of her career as a dancer. Her childhood was not easy because her father forced her to be his companion, and not just in dancing. Hayworth would confide in future husband Orson Welles that her father began sexually abusing her as a child when they were on tour as dancing Cancinos. This fact had consequences in her life, influencing her relationships in the future. In 1933, she arrived in Hollywood not as an actress, but as a member of the Spanish ballet. After 2 years, she began working as an actress in supporting roles in low-budget B films for commercial purposes, standing out for her talent, dancing, and her beauty. To work as an actress, she underwent diets, treatments, and also enlarged her forehead to accentuate her V-shaped hairline. She was married at 18, and her first husband, Edward Judson, was the one who launched her to fame by signing a contract with Columbia Pictures. The production company's president, Harry Cohn, fell in love with her, but Rita never gave in to the mogul's harassment. Rita's first important role as an actress was in the film Only Angels Have Wings in 1939, in a secondary role. After standing out, she transferred to 20th Century Fox to play Donna Saul in the film Blood and Sand, 1941. That same year, Hayworth would pose for the now iconic Life magazine photograph in a black lace corset. Bob Landry's photo made Rita Hayworth one of the 2 best pin-up girls of the World War II years, the other being Betty Grable. For 2 years, this image was the most requested pin-up photograph in circulation. Hayworth would be the one to file for divorce from Judson on February 24, 1942, on charges of cruelty. On September 7, 1943, during the airing of the Mercury Wonder Show, Rita Hayworth would marry Orson Welles. They had one daughter, Rebecca, who was born on December 17, 1944. Hayworth achieved top billing in one of her best-known films in 1944, the full-color musical Cover Girl. This firmly established her as one of Columbia's leading stars of the 1940s, and gave her the distinction of being the first of only 6 women to dance on screen with Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire. Starting in 1944, for 3 years, Hayworth was voted one of the biggest box office attractions in the world. Hayworth's glamorous sex appeal was most noted in the film Gilda, alongside Glenn Ford in 1946. The role caused some consternation to censors, particularly for Hayworth when she performed a legendary "Put the Blame on Mame" one-glove striptease while dressed in black satin. This firmly rooted Rita Hayworth as a femme fatale. It was during the filming of Gilda in 1945 that the long-term affair with Glenn Ford would begin and would also last for 40 years. Rita and Orson had difficulties in their marriage, with Hayworth saying that Welles did not want to be tied down. "Mr. Welles told me that he should never marry, that it interfered with his freedom in his way of life," says Rita in an interview about her marriage to Orson Welles in 1948 at the height of his fame. Hayworth traveled to Cannes and was introduced to Prince Ali Khan. This began a year-long courtship that culminated in their marriage on May 27, 1949. Long before Grace Kelly, Hayworth's marriage to Prince Ali Khan was the first time a Hollywood actress became a princess. On December 28, 1949, Hayworth would give birth to the couple's only child, Princess Yasmin Aga Khan. Although she was eager to start a new life away from Hollywood, Ali Khan's extravagant lifestyle and duties proved to be too much for Hayworth to handle. She struggled to fit into his social circle and found it difficult to learn French. Although Hayworth and Ali Khan reconciled for a short time, they finally divorced in 1953. After the collapse of her marriage in 1953, Rita Hayworth returned to Hollywood to star in her comeback film, Affair in Trinidad, which once again paired her with Glenn Ford. The film was highly publicized and ended up grossing $1 million more than his previous box office hit, Gilda. She was off the screen for 4 years after that, mainly due to her tumultuous marriage to singer Dick Haymes. When Hayworth and Haymes met, he was still married and had a declining singing career. During her marriage to Haymes, she was involved with a lot of negative publicity, which significantly diminished her publicity. After 2 tumultuous years together, Haymes hit Hayworth in the face in public in 1955 at the Coconut Grove nightclub in Los Angeles. Hayworth packed her bags, left, and never came back. Hayworth was short on money after her marriage to Haymes. She was unable to obtain child support from Ali Khan and would also sue Orson Welles for late child support payments for her daughter. In 1958, Hayworth began another relationship with producer James Hill, and they married on February 2nd of that same year. He cast her in one of his last big films, Tables Apart. In 1961, Hayworth once again filed for divorce, citing extreme mental cruelty. His last film was the Western The Wrath of God in 1972. Hayworth was 54 when he retired in 1972, and the experience exposed his poor health and worsening mental state. In January 1976, Hayworth was removed from a TWA flight after having an angry outburst. What at the time was thought to be alcoholism ended up being understood as Alzheimer's disease. When Hayworth's diagnosis was made public in 1981, she became the first public face of Alzheimer's disease, showing that this disease exists.
Rita Hayworth fell into a semi-coma in February 1987 due to complications associated with Alzheimer's disease. 3 months later, she passed away at her home in Manhattan, alongside her daughter Yasmin, on May 14, 1987. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Feel free to leave your comment too. A hug. See you in the next video.